Okay, so good morning everyone. My name is Devansh and we'll be starting off with an overview classes for the ALTAM. It is going to be a series which I would be conducting, and herein I would be providing you with an overview of the chapters which are there in the ALTAM. Obviously I won't be giving you an orientation about the ALTAM and all that because we will get that into it. But for now, what this chapter is, what this video is all about is that in this video we are going to discuss about some of the basic concepts of ALTAM, and we can also call this as a demo classes for ALTAM. Okay, so first of all, we'll start off with a very interesting chapter, I would call, because in this chapter you will be applying all the knowledge you have received so far. If you have noticed in P examination or in FM examination or in FAM examination or in other actuarial examination that you have given so far, there was a hint of pensions, there was a hint of life insurance, general insurance, and so on and so forth, right? And this is where those questions were preparing you for these chapters, because from here onwards you would be dealing with pensions, you would be dealing with life insurance, general insurance, and so on head first. So basically the thing is that from here onwards we will be discussing about the different insurance products. How do we price those products using all of the knowledge that you have obtained so far on the previous papers. Okay, so let us start. So first of all, you have a single life insurance or an annuity model. So here on, if you consider all of those states where you can be, like for example, when you were purchasing the model, you were in healthy state, you were fully functional, right? You were able to walk, you were able to talk, you were able to eat, you could go to washroom and all that, right? All of that, you were able to perform all of those activities. And even if you were not, then again that is a complex model altogether. But if we were to consider a straightforward model, then we will consider a model wherein you were perfectly healthy, right? Or in other words, we can say that you were in healthy state. You were in a healthy state. A annuity model, a life annuity model, what it says is that we will continue making you the payment as long as you are alive, right? We'll make you the payment as long as you are alive. At the start of every year or at the end of every year, we will call you and we'll figure out, we'll inquire basically that whether you are alive or not. And if you can provide us sufficient evidence saying that, declaring that you are alive, then we will make you the payment, right? But the moment you are dead, we will stop making the payment. So there are only two states from the insurance company's perspective. They are considered whether you are alive or dead. So when you are alive, you would be considered as being under healthy state, and as in when you die, you will be considered under the dead state, right? So the basic thing which can happen, the basic functionality of this model is that you can go from healthy to dead, and the moment you go from healthy to dead, the payments would stop. That is it. So this is what this model is all about. We are going to discuss about the different states that are going to be there in the different models under different scenarios. So this is one of the basic state. Obviously, you cannot go back from dead to healthy. You cannot become a zombie and come back to life. Okay, so that thing is not there. So this is a very simple model, straightforward model. You would get the payment as long as you are alive, and the payment should stop as soon as you are dead. Then you have a double indemnity model. Under the double indemnity model, what the case is that there are certain policies wherein you would be paid the sum assured as in when you die. It seems like a normal regular policy, right? Regular assurance policy. It is, but there is some complexity to it. The complexity here is that from here on, you would be paid a higher sum assured if you die due to an accident. But you will be paid a lower sum assured if you die due to natural causes, if you die due to old age. So basically what we are saying is that I have purchased a policy to provide some amount of money, to provide certain amount of money to my dependents, right? So my dependents would be of more of need of money if I die due to an accident. Like for example, if I were to die at the age of 35, there would be a lot of my dependents, there would be a lot of amount which my dependents would need to sustain their life, right? But if I were to die at the age of 65 or maybe 70, my dependents would not require that much amount of money to sustain their life, right? Because either I have already prepared a lot of funds for them, I have already purchased a lot of property, I have sufficient amount of jewelries and all that so that they can sustain their life. But if I die at 35, they would require a lot of money, lot of properties, lot of asset and all that, just so that they can sustain their rest of their life. Like for example, let us consider that if it was a scenario like I had a brother who is handicapped. Let us say that we two are the only family members that are there, and if I were to die, then there is no one who can support my brother, and he will eventually die. So that is a scenario. Now, if I were to die at 65, 70, my brother would not need that much amount of money to sustain his life, because I have already left behind so much amount of money. He can simply sell off one of my assets, he can simply sell off one of my jewelry in order to sustain his remaining life. But if I were to die at 30, 35, I would not have that much amount of money to sustain his rest of the life. So I would require a higher sum assured if I were to die due to accidents or natural causes. If I were to die due to unnatural causes, or if I were to die accidental death. So I would be a healthy state. From insurance company's perspective, there are 3 states here. First is a healthy state, or I can die due to an accident. Either I can die due to an accident, or I can die due to natural causes. Obviously, you can further have much more complexity to this model by saying that you can put a even more stricter condition here by saying that I would have to die due to old age specifically to get lower sum assured. And death in all the other cases would basically make me eligible for a higher sum assured. So something like this can also happen. From now on, obviously I will not draw any more states and all that, because I will have to cover a lot of concepts here. So the third model which we will consider is a pension model. So under the pension model, obviously, as and when I am working, certain part of my salary is being contributed from out of my salary by my from my side, and some amount from my employer's side to my pension fund. Right? So these amounts will be contributed to the pension fund as long as I am working as an employee. Right? A certain company will only pay me pensions, will only contribute to my pension fund as long as I am working there. Okay. So as long as I am working, there is a payment to my pension fund. The payments would stop, at least the company wherein I was working in, they will stop the payment if I am terminated from that company due to any reason, whether I am fired, whether I have left it on my own terms, whatever the case may be. If I am terminated, that company will not contribute anything to my pension fund. If I were to start my own company, if I were to start my own business, I might contribute something out of my own pocket to the pension fund. But as a provider of that benefit, you would not be concerned about it. If I am paying my own pensions or something like that, what you would be concerned of is that this was a certain person, this was a certain employee, this is an ex-employee who used to work here, and he is eligible for a deferred annuity, that he will receive payment as and when he retires. So that is the case. So that is terminated. The next stage is retired. That I was working, it is possible that I have went from working to retired, or it is possible that I have went from working to terminated and then I have went to retired state. Both of this thing is possible. Because either it is possible that I was working in the same company for my entire life, and then finally I have attained the retirement age and I have retired. Then I will simply go from working to retired. But it is also possible that at age 50 I retired, at age 50 I left the company, started my own business, and thereafter I retired. So I went from terminated to retire. Something like this can also happen. Or the third scenario, or the worst case scenario, is that I am working but I die while I am at work, or while I am still working in that company. Again, it might be due to any reason. It is possible that it was due to sickness, it was possible due to disability, accident, or whatever reason may be, or even natural causes. Then I would simply be considered as dead. I will not receive the pension fund. So these are the states which you would be concerned about under the pension model. Next, under the permanent disability model, let us say that I am an insurer who provides benefit only to people who are permanently disabled or permanently handicapped, or who have some terminal illness, like for example cancer or maybe tuberculosis or something like that. So if something so serious has happened to that person, only then and then will I provide the benefit to this particular person. Then in that case, from insurer's perspective, from the provider of benefits perspective, these are the three states which we will be concerned about. Healthy, disabled, dead. It is possible that I have become disabled due to XYZ reason and I have moved to disabled state. And thereafter I am dead and that is it. I cannot go back to the healthy state. If let us say that I have some kind of disease which allows me to go back to healthy state, then this will not be covered under the disabled state. Then I was not in the disabled state to begin with. I was always under a healthy state. Like for example, if I have a common fever or if I have a viral fever, I cannot claim to be a disabled person. Even though I am bedridden, but I cannot claim to be a disabled person. Until and unless I have a proper evidence from my doctor who says that yeah, he has a kind of a fever which will prohibit him from working or prohibit him from doing anything for the rest of his life, then and only then will I be considered as a disabled person. So this is the permanent disability model. And it is also possible that you have a simple disability income model which basically allows you to be a sick person to be eligible for the benefits. Like for example, it is possible that I have got into an accident. My biggest risk is that I am living on month-to-month basis. That if I were to receive the salary on the start of the month, then I would be able to sustain my entire month, or I would not be able to sustain my standard of living. That is the kind of life I am living right now. So my biggest worry would be that if I were to get, let's say, if I were to get into an accident, or if I were to get maybe even a viral sickness or even a kind of a fever, dengue, malaria, or something like that, which would make me bedridden for 1 or 2 months only, even then I would be affected by it. If that is my scenario, then I will purchase a model. I will purchase a policy which will pay me money even when I am sick. Right? Obviously, there can be some criteria to this, that you will have to be sick for minimum of 1 year, or you will have to be sick for maybe 2 consecutive months in order to be eligible for this benefit. You can have X number of varieties, permutation, combinations to it. But the plain vanilla scenario is that when you are at healthy state, you can move to sick state, and it is also possible that you can move back to the healthy state. And obviously you would only receive the benefits if you are in sick state. If you were to move back to the healthy state, you will stop receiving any benefits from the insurance company. But let's say 2-3 months down the line, again you were to become sick, then again you would be eligible to receive the benefits from the insurance company. Okay. So what we are basically trying to do here is that I am trying to make you understand about the different policies, about the different states, about the different mentality from the insurers and providers of benefits perspective. Like how their mentality works, how their minds works with respect to the modeling of the cash flows and everything. Right? In the next class, we will discuss some more about these models, and then we will move to the Markov chain part, which is a very interesting part and which is a very, very, very popular part under actuaries. Thank you.